Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you too. Damn, I gotta fill the vacuum with something. Think, you lousy bastard. But silence is golden. Hey, I heard you had barbecue last week. That must have been lots of fun. Yeah, it's super fun. It's like what we are doing here, but with more people. And the whole time I was pretending to be busy eating, that I had no time for a small talk with anyone. Yeah, that kind of fun. Ha 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 ha. Hey 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 hey. Bye. The first man invented words out of almost nothing really. Out of mere sounds of wind, we created words. And with words, we were able to work together towards a common goal that wouldn't be completed with the effort of one man alone. Language is a way of communicating and sharing ideas so that we can grow and live more prosperously together. We human beings are idea machines. We live on new ideas and thrive on them because new information shapes new desires. And desires are freaking great, despite popular beliefs. For some of us mortal men, desire is the basic fundamental of life. We need it so we can continue to live like a normal human being. You don't believe me? Even this slimy piece of bacteria is full of desires. For sugar, before it expands bigger and bigger. Right, expansion. That's where we are at. Expansion is the name of the game. Look at yourself. Once you were a tiny little bugger, and now you're just a bigger bugger. You expanded. We need desires. Stop saying otherwise, unless you're him, of course. Can we just move on and pretend we are on the same page? Okay, we live on the expansion of new desires. So, where do we get them? For instance, you like coffee, but you live in a country where only those with shit quality exist. Then you get depressed because good coffee is all that you want. Then on a random sunny day, you bump into someone who likes coffee as much as you do. Then he starts telling you about this paradise of great high quality coffee somewhere in Sumatra, Indonesia. Then you say, I'm off then. Bye. Wait, how are you going to make a living there? This cosmic chain of events happens because a random someone comes into your life with a new piece of information that you've been waiting for your whole life. Now you are living happily ever after in Indonesia. That's the power of talking. With the right person. Admit it, once in a while you kind of feel lonely, even though maybe you have many friends, feeling out of place and misunderstood. Like how come people don't get it? Why can't people see the truth? What truth? Fruit pizza is like the best thing ever. And somehow you wish you are like that coffee maniac who bumps into that random someone who totally gets it, that it's okay to drink coffee every day despite the naysayers. Too much caffeine. The problem with our society today is we have lost sight of the true significance of talking, which is to share a powerful and potentially life-changing ideas towards a common purpose. The purpose of every coffee maniac is to be happier while drinking more and better coffee every day. So he talks with other coffee maniacs, expecting to get more feedback about more delicious coffee somewhere else. That's what talking's supposed to be. And yet these days, our civilized talks are often trivial, meaningless, and hollow. Without any sense of purpose, it's become this superfluous means of inflating our ego in front of bigger egos. Then everyone can wait for his turn to brag and boast, trying to interrupt the other person every time because you truly understand the game, that once you give the other person a small window of time, he will freaking run with it. Then conversations could get more and more tense, because you realize that everyone is making every breath and every word that's coming out of their mouth a matter of life and death. It's survival out here, bruh. It's like you realize if you stop talking just for a sec, you'd cease to exist in that moment, completely choked out by the other person's incessant talking and his inflated idea of himself that he knows more simply because he talks more. And now since talking has become this awkward battle between egos, because everyone's doing it but no one wants to admit it, what happens then? Well, we often choose to be polite and do more ha 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 and more fake smiles so that we don't trigger someone else's survival mechanism. It's like we are treading this field of landmines really carefully between not offending someone and saying the right things. And then, the thin fine line between honest self-expression and pleasant civilized discussion is quickly blurred out. Like that fake smile was actually forced as hell, but anyway, everyone bought it. The talk went smoothly, no bombs exploded. Turns out it's a great day after all. But now, who am I? Do I have to stick with this for the rest of my life? Why am I here in the first place? There's this vicious phenomena taking place in our society these days. It's called being socially awkward. First, someone feels awkward for not being able to hold conversations with another human being. Some might have called him a sociopath for lacking human emotions. Then he's now feeling more awkward because he was awkward the first time. The cycle is now complete, and we've created this self-help culture on the internet today on how to make some of these people feel less awkward, telling them to dress up to impress, smile because if your physiology changes, your psychology is likely to change too. Fake it till you make it, buddy. But that's not the freaking point. Imagine telling someone who freaking hates a tomato, but tomatoes are delicious. Well, okay, here's some for you. Let me tell you what the real problem is. It's very simple. It doesn't require you to read a 300-page book, nor does it require you to sit through a 15-minute motivational talk. You've had many of those before. It's this: we don't have a purpose. We talk just to pass the time, basically. We hang out with our friends in a cafe not because we have a strong intention to be there. We were there because maybe we were bored at home, or we felt lonely. Trying to get rid of our boredom or loneliness is not an intention. Well, you can call it intention, but that's not the intention I intend to intend.
Say what?
Look, if talking is a means of passing information and ideas towards a common purpose, that should be our only intention. But what information? Information that you do want to acquire. But what is it? Information that you do want to acquire. But what is it? That's the thing with us today. We don't even know what we want. If we do, talking could take on a new meaning for us, where we get to talk because we're passionate about the thing we want to talk about with someone who's as passionate as us. Not because it's simply the appropriate thing to do. It's as if every cell in our body is throbbing to share the knowledge with God to the person whose cells are equally throbbing to hear it, because you guys share a common interest. Now, for the first time ever, you speak not just to pass the time, but truly from your heart. And before you know it, this disease called being socially awkward has fully disappeared, because you realize that oftentimes it takes two to tango. Is it the fault of the round peg for not fitting into a square hole, or the square hole for not being round enough? If you're the round peg, please, for goodness sake, stop bothering that square hole and stop forcing it. Be patient in your search for a round hole that's exactly your size, who's also been waiting for you for the entirety of its existence. Just imagine the orgasmic feeling when two holes meet.
Oh yeah.
That's enough holes for today.